When you are $1 million in ARR 6 or 7 years in, the $100 million does not look like a foregone conclusion. It requires showing up every day, having the belief system that you can get there. It requires bringing people into the company that believe with you and then collaborating with them to deliver those results. It requires caring. It requires winning. It requires just constantly recreating ourselves. I think when we started off, the one thing that we really wanted and continue today to really focus on is this something that everybody is going to be able to use? We know we're done when you show up to a job and inside your Okta-like profile, there is Sigma because it is the only way that you're going to access corporate data. And I think we're well on that path today.
The most important thing is getting the right team. It's not about how many people you hire. It's not about really anything except for, do you have the right high caliber team that all work together very well?
Getting the product right is really the only strategic decision that ultimately matters. Because when you start in large enterprise, you end up building someone else's product because they just compare you to what they already have. Mid-market companies are amazing. They need to be efficient. You can't build something that requires lots of overhead to deploy and manage. They're more open to understanding what might be possible in the future. And when you build up that base and that evidence, you can take that evidence to large enterprise. And by then they've seen it and they're willing to adopt and adapt.
I think the hardest part in building a product that can scale out to the business is figuring out a problem that's important enough that people are going to pay money. They're going to want to quickly engage with the product, but it's also something that solves a real problem, is technically interesting, it's fun to work on, exciting enough to work on for 10 plus years.
You know, culture is an interesting word. I get that question a lot when I'm interviewing candidates. What I want to breed is a culture of winning and a culture of learning.
We will always help each other and that we're all driving in the same direction. We hold each other accountable. We have a high bar. We're direct and we're candid. We're transparent. Those fundamental values, they're the same today as they were 5 years ago.
If you walk through the 4th floor here in San Francisco, or the 8th and 9th floors in New York City, or offices in London, you will see that culture come together where teams help each other. There's no scenario that we haven't seen individually. When we share them together and collectively, then we make our customers more satisfied and happy. And when they do that, they buy more because they're getting more value.
Sigma uses data to fuel its own growth, really in every aspect of our business. I think what's different with Sigma compared to other BI tools and other companies, most companies run their businesses with the BI tool. At Sigma, we run our company on Sigma. Everything from how we think about pipeline forecasting to our customer 360, all of these things sort of coalesce in Sigma, really giving us insight into things that we didn't have before.
A lot of things need to evolve and we need to adapt to get to that $100 million mark. The hardest part is deciding when to scale. And the key indicator there is, do we have the right product in the right market at the right time?
We are very fortunate. We have an amazing group of employees that are all rowing in the same direction. So it wasn't that I needed to build a framework or that any of us needed to build a framework to support 100% year-over-year growth, because everyone was working together and everyone knew that, okay, maybe there are parts to what we do that isn't perfect, but you know, we're going to figure it all out anyway because we're all rowing in the same direction.
It's all about product at the end of the day and how we're servicing our customers and the value they're getting. If you're seeing signals that the product is distributed across different verticals, across different geographies, and you're able to find the commonality in why your customers buy, it's time to grow. The hard part is doing that at the right time. If you're too slow, you miss a market. If you're too fast, you might be burning too much money.
In early stage, having a set of experienced investors was tremendously helpful for us to navigate ups and downs, especially in the last couple of years, and help us grounded in the long-term perspective of the company. And as we scale, having access to real-time data allows us to read the early indicators, and that allows us to take actions to double down on growth and scale back in real time. The goal is never to save money. The goal is to generate positive returns of your investment. Always know what your burn rate is and how much runway you have, and share that with your leadership and the rest of the company so everyone has the same fact to make decisions.
If you have a passion for what you're building, the passion for the product and how it's serving the market, the passion for your customers, the passion for bringing the right people into your environment, into your company, and teach them the right way of executing well, then you'll be successful.